There is a machine sitting in the scrub about 2 hours west of nowhere. Solar panel on top. One flat sensor eye on the front. Dust on everything flies in the shade under it, and no cable running anywhere. It is not a camera trap. It is waiting for a cat. It is called a felixer. It uses an artificial intelligence algorithm to tell a cat or a fox from every other animal that walks past. Then it sprays that animal with a measured dose of toxic gel. Australia built a machine that has an opinion about cats. Before you decide how you feel about that, you need the number that caused it. Feral cats kill over 1.5 billion native mammals, birds, reptiles and frogs in Australia every year, plus 1.1 billion invertebrates. That number is too big to feel, so break it down. That is roughly 4 million native animals a night. Every night, while you are asleep. Before the rest of the numbers, meet 3 of them properly. You're going to want to know who this is about. The numbat, about the size of a cat itself, striped across the back, and the only marsupial in Australia that eats termites and nothing else. It is awake in the daytime, which almost nothing here is. The bilby, ears like a rabbit that got ambitious, a silky grey coat, and a nose that never stops moving. And the bettong, a small hopping thing that digs all night and turns over tons of soil a year doing it. Australian gardeners, essentially. Feral cats are a major cause of decline for all 3. Predation by cats is a recognised threat to more than 200 nationally threatened species and 37 listed migratory species, and they have already finished some of them off. Feral cats have contributed to the extinction of more than 20 Australian mammal species. Say a few of those out loud because you will not hear them anywhere else. The pig-footed bandicoot, a small thing with hooves for feet, which is a sentence you would not believe if it were not true. The lesser bilby. The broad-faced potteroo. You will never see one. Neither will your kids. Neither will anybody ever again in any country for the rest of time. And you had probably not heard of 2 of those 3. That is not your fault. Nobody talks about the ones that are already gone, because there is nothing left to photograph. There is no photograph of a living pig-footed bandicoot worth the name. There is no recording of the sound it made. Whatever it was like to watch one move across sand at night, that is simply gone, and it is not coming back. That is what the machine in the scrub is for. And here is the part that makes this so much harder than it should be. Feral cats are the same species as domestic cats. Exactly the same. Not a relative, not a subspecies. The animal on your couch and the animal the robot is waiting for are the same animal, separated by a collar and a closed door. So if you own a cat, none of this is about your cat. It is about what happens when one stops being anybody's. So picture the problem the way the people doing this have to picture it. It is nocturnal. It hunts in the dark, alone, and sleeps all day down a rabbit burrow or under a rock pile where you will never look. It lives in every habitat in the country, forest, grassland, wetland, desert. All of it. It sits at very low densities across enormous ranges. You can walk a paddock for a week and never see one. It will have watched you the whole time. And it is cautious. Extremely cautious. You cannot fence a continent. So how do you actually do this? The department lists 5 tools: shooting, trapping, fencing, baiting, and a grooming trap. Shooting is skilled and slow. Trapping catches one animal at a time. Fencing works beautifully in the small area you can afford to fence. The most effective form of feral cat control over large areas is poison baiting. And here the cat causes one more problem, because of course it does. A fox will dig up a buried bait. A cat will not. So cat baits have to be laid on the surface, in the open. The sun sits on them all day, and every other animal in the bush can find them first. That single fact shapes everything you are about to hear. There are 3 baits. The first is called Curiosity. The Australian government led a $7 million project to develop it. It is a small meat sausage with a hard plastic pellet inside, and the toxin is sealed in the pellet. The pellet is the clever part. A native animal tends to chew and spit it out. A cat swallows the lot. Somebody named it Curiosity, out loud, in a meeting, and nobody in that room stopped them. The second is Eradicat, and it is only used in Western Australia. It is injected with 1080. Now 1080 is a synthetic copy of a poison that already occurs naturally in some Western Australian plants, which means many native animals over there have spent a very long time evolving a resistance to it. Read that again because it is quietly extraordinary. Western Australia can poison cats more freely than anywhere else in the country. Its own wildlife got there first and built up a tolerance over thousands of years. The third bait is still being developed. It is called history. Somebody is enjoying this far too much. Which brings you back to the machine in the scrub. 20 sealed cartridges of toxic gel. Solar powered. It resets itself after every shot. It photographs every single animal that comes past, including the ones it decides not to fire on, so somebody can check later whether it was right. And it can play audio lures, sounds to bring a cat closer to the thing that is going to spray it. It holds 20 cartridges and resets itself without being asked. Your printer cannot do that. None of this happened quietly. On the 15th of July 2015 in Melbourne, Australia's Environment Ministers formally declared feral cats a pest, nationally, in writing. In February 2021, a parliamentary committee handed down a report. The title was not subtle, Tackling the Feral Cat Pandemic. And in 2024, the fourth threat abatement plan for feral cats was released. 1,628 people wrote in during the public consultation. 1,628. On cats. It is also the first threat abatement plan ever jointly made with the states and territories. 7 of them signed it. Nothing gets 7 Australian governments to agree on anything. So that is the case, and it is a strong one. But you should sit with the other half of it, because it is also true. The cat did not choose to be here. She was carried onto this continent on a ship by people on purpose, and then let go. She hunts at night because that is what she is. She is not cruel. She has no idea that the small thing in the grass is the last of anything. She is doing exactly what a cat does, in a place that had never met one. And that is the whole uncomfortable shape of it. The animals dying did not choose this either. Neither did the pig-footed bandicoot. You are allowed to find this sad. The people doing it do. There is no version of this where everybody gets to feel good. There is only a number and a set of tools, and a country deciding it would rather lose the argument than lose another 20 species. Every episode of this has been about something watching. A beagle at a luggage carousel, a row of hives at a wharf. This one is about something waiting. The machine does not chase anything. It sits in the dust with its one flat eye open, running on sunlight. It is more patient than you are. Somewhere west of nowhere there is a patch of dirt with a single paw print in it. By morning the wind will have taken it. The machine will still be there. If you want the next one, subscribe. That is the whole ask.